Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm Major Garrett in for Norah. Tonight, new details from the partially redacted affidavit used to authorize the FBI search of former President Donald Trump's Florida home. One of the significant concerns, according to the affidavit, was that no space at Trump's Mar-a-Lago home was authorized for the storage of classified material. Investigators, using distinctly bureaucratic language, said the records were unfoldered and intermixed with other records and otherwise improperly identified. Now, as expected, this affidavit was heavily redacted, with just 37% of the pages having no redactions. 34% of the pages were partially redacted, while 29% of this affidavit was totally redacted. In other words, completely blacked out. The affidavit argues a search of Mar-a-Lago was necessary due to the highly sensitive material found in boxes recovered by the National Archives back in January. And we have a lot of news to get to, and CBS's Robert Costa will start us off from West Palm Beach, Florida. Robert, good evening.
Good evening, Major. Despite the heavy redactions, there are striking new details in this affidavit. It is outlined in gravely serious terms as the Justice Department explains why it searched former President Trump's Florida home 18 days ago.
The redacted affidavit reveals that of the 15 boxes of government records Donald Trump brought with him to Mar-a-Lago and ultimately returned to the archives in January, 14 had classified documents. Some including sensitive information derived from government informants, critical to U.S. intelligence gathering.
That is the linchpin of the entire affidavit. We are talking about materials that could kill people, as well as, of course, reveal sources and methods really undermine our national security.
In total, investigators found 184 documents with classification markings, including 67 documents marked as confidential, 92 marked as secret, and 25 top secret. The documents labeled HCS, referring to human confidential sources, stood out to former acting CIA Director Mike Morrell.
The ones that are most concerning to me are the ones that were marked HCS, which is a marking that indicates that information was derived from CIA spies overseas.
The affidavit underscores the alarm about the possible vulnerability of Trump's waterfront property. A Secret Service source tells CBS News that it is a private club with protection but limited background checks. The affidavit goes on to provide a glimpse into the Justice Department's sources and who might have witnessed potential criminal activity at Mar-a-Lago, noting the department spoke to a significant number of civilian witnesses. In order to protect them from intimidation or from being publicly outed, the Florida federal judge and federal prosecutors agreed on the extensive redactions. The FBI agent who wrote the affidavit also said there was probable cause to believe that evidence of obstruction will be found at Trump's property, as well as contraband, fruits of crime, and other items illegally possessed. Trump and his Republican allies remain frustrated with the search and with the Justice Department. His spokesman today saying the affidavit was overtly political. Former Trump intelligence official John Ratcliffe spoke to CBS's Catherine Herridge.
The unsealing of this today isn't going to do much to, again, tamp down the chaos, the confusion.
And tonight, sources tell CBS News that some members of the intelligence community will soon begin assessing whether their sources were compromised based on what this investigation has revealed so far. Major?
Bob Costa, thank you.